G'day, g'day, and welcome back to AthosCraft Season 2. And as you can see, we are starting in a big hole. I regret that I started recording videos right after I had built this. This took me a good part of about 80 hours of digging to actually make this hole. It is 64 chunks. It is 128 by 128, and the idea is to try and get a mob farm where I know there's going to be no mobs spawning and not wasting any of the mob cap. There's an abandoned mine shaft in here, and it was really big. As you can see, it spans 3 of the sections still, and all the spider spawners, we've kept them here so we can use them at some point. But the idea here is that we've got these killing zones, and within the killing zones, we have the minecart system up there, which then we have these auto unloaders, which I'm going to do a tutorial on these another day. Today's episode is about the super smelter. So I'm going to finally get an automated system for smelting so that we can get a good return on our inventory. Smelt a lot faster than we currently are. Now, I've looked and did a whole bunch of research online and different YouTubers out there and different tutorials on super smelters, and unfortunately most of them are Java based. Now, the redstone between Java and Bedrock is slightly different, and what it does is it messes up the timings. So Ilmango, who's from SciCraft, is one of the best redstone guys out there. And he's where Mum gets a bunch of stuff from him, and Nembomb, and there's a bunch of them that are really good. And but unfortunately, they all work in Java, and the timing is significantly different. And so what that means is that if we're using a lot of repeaters with certain ticks on them and stuff like that, they just won't work in Bedrock because the timing is so different. So the idea here is that we need to make one that's going to work in Bedrock. Some of the other ones that I've tried in the past I've seen all kinds of smelters where they have railroad tracks running across the top. There's a couple problems in Bedrock. The mine carts actually pull from each other if they're only one level apart. In addition to it, that the hoppers, the minecart hoppers, unload significantly faster than they do in Java, which means that we almost never get an even distribution of items and fuel inside the chests, and then we end up wasting fuel. So the idea here is we're going to do away with this, replace this entire system here, and build the super smelter. So I'm going to tear this apart right now, get it out of the way, and then we'll be back. Well, it looks like Filthy Suffix needs some help. Let's go see what we can do. Let's go help him out. Alright, so we have to get to the shopping district in the Nether. Alright, hey, there he is. So, need some help? Lead the way. Let's go. Alright, I love flying through the Nether. Okay, there's where he died. Go ahead and land here. Get rid of the gas. I said get rid of the gas. There we go. It's always a big relief when you get your stuff back. When you're new and you don't have a lot of stuff and you fly through the Nether and you get killed by a wither skeleton. It's good that you can get your stuff back. So we're going to need a whole bunch of furnaces. I haven't decided how big this is going to be. I got to figure out what the maximum number of furnaces that a piston can push. So let's clear this out here first. That was very nice of her. She gave me 64 dispensers for payment for all the bows. So that's nice. We're going to throw those dispensers in my redstone box here, and that's so the anchor, the anvil in there as well. And we're going to need a bunch of this stuff. So we got ourselves a bunch of cobblestone, and that way we can make a bunch of furnaces. 36 furnaces. That should be pretty good. Let's do a little quick test here and see how many furnaces can a piston push. So we're going to need half slab here. And we're going to need a piston and a lever. So what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and test this. So let us put the half slab down. One of the things you'll find Bedrock is I'm using a controller, and so it is a little slower to manipulate. So it takes a little longer to do stuff. But I much prefer the controller over the keyboard. I'm not a fan of the keyboards. All right, so let's see. So that did push that, and that was 9 furnaces. 2, 4, 6, 8. Wow, that's impressive. So let's see, will it push 10? Let's count that again. So 2, 4, 6, 8. That's 10. Okay, so let's count that. Will it push 10? Yeah, it pushed 10. All right. Go 11. It pushes 11. Wow. And 12. All right. She's pushing 12. All right. So 12 is the limit. So it's not pushing anymore. So it can only push up to 12. So if we wanted to, we could potentially make our... oh, we broke a stone here. We could potentially make our farm 48 furnaces. That would be absolutely crazy. I think that might be a little overkill, and you'd have to have a significant amount of items if you're going to do that. So I think what we're going to do is not do the 48 item system, but we'll do 4 6s for 24 furnaces. Nah, let's do more than that. Let's do a 32 furnace system. So what we have to do is we have to think about what we're going to do for loading the fuel, loading the items, and getting the items out of the furnaces. So I'm going to build this system. It needs to be close enough to my AFK spot that the furnaces will actually keep burning while I'm AFK. So this is probably a good spot here. So I want to build it up a little higher so that so we definitely can have lots of chests for filling in. So what we're likely going to do is something like this. Let's fill these in. Let's grab some hoppers. I got a couple stacks of hoppers here. So we'll grab those and we'll fill this in. Thank you. I always like getting diamonds, and I spent a lot of time digging, so I guess I'm going to get a little payback for that, but that's okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab some chests here. Oh, I've already got them in my inventory. There's a dirt moment. Alright, so I got them in the inventory. Let's go ahead and throw those on here. And then we will... how are we going to do this? We're going to be 8 wide, so we're going to need another set of chests here. But these ones, what we'll do is we will do this. The reason why we want the chests to match the 8 wide is because we want them to unload fairly evenly, and only the bottom ones are going to unload. So they're going to have to get all the way around the circle for them to actually unload. So we'll see how this goes. We may end up having to use some mine carts because they unload much, much faster. But let's see how this goes. All right, so we want hoppers along here, like so. Okay, there we go. And then we'll put furnaces on top of these hoppers. Now the furnaces, we want these to look good, so we want to face these forward. Let's just make a little stairs here so we don't have to do too much. But if we just do this, so now we already tested it out so that the pistons are going to push 12 hoppers, so we're only going to have 8. So we've got lots of room. So the idea here is we're going to have a piston that pushes up here. So we want that piston to be right parallel with the hopper. So we're going to, one too many. Okay, there we go. And so we'll throw a piston in here, like so. So the idea is that we're going to have a big square, and the furnaces are going to get pushed over, the piston's going to push up, then they'll get pushed over, and etc., etc. So eventually what will happen is the furnaces will make their way all the way around, and then meet back at the beginning again, and they'll get filled up with items in one location, they will get filled up with fuel in another location, and they will drain what they've smelted on the bottom. And so it's likely, from what I sort of thought here, we may need 2 loading spaces for fuel and that kind of stuff. And I think we're just going to load the fuel right here. All right. So the fuel can be loaded in advance. Okay. So we can just, you know what? Let's just keep this to 2, so we can just keep 1 chest full of fuel. I think that'll be a better plan. So let's just have fuel going in the middle. Yeah, let's do the fuel on the side so that we can do it fairly easily. Okay, so let's do that. So then we can throw a chest on here, and this is where we're going to store fuel. Okay. And we are going to need, so that piston's going to go there. We're going to need a piston that, I'm just going to fill this up. We need the piston to be not there, but we need it against this. So we want the piston to be there. All right, so then we can do this. Get rid of that furnace. So the idea is that this piston will push the furnaces this way onto there, and that'll only happen when the top one pushes them down. So it's going to take a little creativity to get this all installed. So I'm going to go ahead and build this entire square, and we'll do a little time lapse of that. So we'll be back in a minute. All right, so we've got the first structure built. So as you can see, it's a square of 32 chests. And the idea here is that we can push the button and the whole system will rotate. Now, I do notice that these ones fall when they do it. So I don't think it's actually rotating. So I do have to consider that these ones actually fall. Why do they fall? So let's test this out. We're going to put some stone in there. Okay. We're going to push the button. Is that still in that one, or is that in this? Oh, so it does rotate. It is rotating. Now, did it rotate back, or did it go up to the third one? Ah, it's beautiful. It's working perfectly. So what we need to do is have a signal pulse that's going to go to this furnace system, and it can rotate around. Now, the idea is that when we fill this with fuel, that we can get all of our chests full as we go. So we need 32 stacks. So let's get 32 stacks going here. So that'll be a good start. And what we're going to do basically is once we have this working, so this continually works here. So if we look, this furnace here and this furnace here are full of fuel. The third one is not. So if we push the button, this one should have fuel. This one is getting its fuel. And then if we push it again, you can see that they're getting fuel, and the first 2 up here have fuel. So the idea is that by the time it rotates through several times, they will all get fuel in there. So what we need to do is we need to automate the pushing of that button. And so what we need to do is put some kind of a redstone clock here so that it sends a pulse to and from this signal on a rotating basis. So I will come back with that design in a minute. All right. So we now have a a hopper clock that's running, and as you can see, the furnaces are rotating around nicely. I just lit one up there so you can see that how it runs, and it's working perfectly. We do have an extra furnace up there. I'll have to go up and delete in a minute, but it's not bad. All we did was a simplified hopper clock system, and so as you can see here, a couple hoppers facing each other with comparators coming out, little redstone dust on a solid block, and two pistons throwing a red block back and forth. Redstone block. Redstone block will turn the hoppers on and off as it powers them. And then when the redstone is in this particular position, it turns on the redstone, which will send a pulse to this. So we don't need this button anymore. It's useless there. So we did just break the system, but that's okay. An over enthusiastic efficiency 5 pickaxe will do that. But essentially we throw that back in there. We'll get that rotation going again. There we go. And so what we need to do now is to be able to provide an on-off switch. So I'm going to work on the on-off switch right now, and I think, let me see if I can do this quickly and without embarrassing myself here, which I might. But if I am able to, we may be able to just put a torch here, and then if we're able to do that, we may just be able to put a lever right here. And by powering that, no, that's not doing it. Let's see, if we go like this, and put the redstone here, there we go. If we turn that off, no, we need to have this here. There we go. So that gets it going, and then if we just turn that on, it'll stop the system. So we can turn the smelting on and off, which is pretty cool. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to build really quickly an input system. So we're going to need 2 hoppers. So let's grab 2 hoppers and a simple chest. So grab a double chest. 2 of those. So what we can do here is just stack ourselves up a little bit here. So, and we were going to put the input system right here so that it's easy and accessible from the ground. And so we will do like so, and then we can just get rid of that. And let's go get something that we can smelt. So we're going to go ahead and throw this here, grab a bunch of sand. I would really like to figure out how the keyboard shortcut works for moving the inventory in Bedrock like they do in Java. Shift click or something like that. It never seems to work for me. But we'll see. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and put all the sand in here. Takes a second when you're putting it in. As it comes out, sometimes it doesn't register right away. Okay. Let's put... Oh, look at this. Look at this. She is burning away. Now, obviously, things are not going to drain until the furnaces make it all the way around again. But as you can see here, this is a thing of beauty. So as this furnace here gets back to the bottom again, I'm going to go in here. Yeah, there should be some glass in here, and they're going to start filling up these. Yeah, we're going to get this one filling up first. All right, and then as they fill up, it'll fill up the next one. But look at how fast that is smelting the glass. Look at that. That is a beautiful thing. Oh my goodness, look at that. We've been only watching it for a few minutes, and we're at a full stack of glass already. That is a beautiful thing, and this is in a Bedrock server. So look at this furnace system running, and it's actually not overly complicated. And look at that. So we now have our super smelter built and up and running. Now I'm going to grab a screen grab of this right here. And there we go. We have our thumbnail for this video. So there we go. So we have a super smelter built. And so now this was going to take care of a lot of our stuff. Thank you very much. It's been a great episode, and we will catch you. Why do I always do that? We will catch you in the next one.